Okay, we'll see how we got going on today. We've got transition randomly at the bottom of the deck. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle these up. Astro's just telling me that that's what you're doing. You're transitioning, and at the bottom of the Light Seer deck, we have the sun. So the happiest card I can pull from the deck. Now there's no lights blinking here, but I do have lights in here. I'll go ahead and show you the pretty lights. There's Jesus and the children. There's Mary, Dreamcatcher. Yeah, we got pretty lights everywhere. This is my dressing room. It's huge, isn't it? Yep, all my water. Okay, we'll go ahead and put you back up here. Okay, we've got transition randomly at the bottom of the deck. We're going to go ahead and shuffle these and see if we can get a message. Basically, it's a favorable outcome. If you're not happy now, that's because you're not putting in enough action. You're not moving toward something. You're in a stalemate. You're in an Eight of Swords energy, and you got to get out of it. Now, I know it's not easy right now to move, to make big purchases. So I don't necessarily mean this physical. I mean it more of a mental. You can be happy homeless. I was homeless and I was very happy. Had some of the best barbecues from what the stores throw out. Back in that day, they didn't have them big metal mushers that they threw everything in. They had regular, let's put it outside for the homeless. And we ate better than we've ever ate. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and see what we got. Bottom of the deck, we have intuition. So you want to use your intuition regarding time. Now that's a good one because that's why I don't put dates on my videos. I don't say this is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I don't do that because time for me doesn't exist. That's like yesterday when I told you they stopped the reincarnating loop in 2012. I said I wasn't positive on that date because time does not exist. So we've got to use our intuition when we're focusing on time. Don't be making 5-year goals. Make goals for the now. Okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do today? Okay, I did leave the chat on, but I'm not going to be following it, so you guys can talk amongst yourself in the chat. But I will not be following it, okay, because I don't want to break up the energy. Okay, so we've got intuition and time, and then we've got true love. So they want you to focus more on bringing the ancient ones in. I mentioned this yesterday on Twitter. You guys can follow me on Twitter. It's under the description, my Twitter handle. But we're bringing the ancient ones in. And what do I mean by that? I told you a long time ago, if you've been following me, that this is a movie. It's already done in Astro. It's already done 5D and higher. And we're bringing in our ancient ones, our twins, our soulmates. Some of you are just going to get mission partners, okay? But true love, it's going to be true. Whatever it is, it's true. True friendships, true jobs, everything is true. That's a hard word for us because we're so used to not true. And it's a golden ticket opportunity. That's how you'll know also, because it's a golden ticket opportunity. It's something that fits everything you want to do. You're a gardener, you're a cook, you're a specialist in pets, guitars, whatever it is. Could be multiple things, okay? but it's something you love to do. And that person that's going to help you with that is going to be your true love. That doesn't mean you have to be having sex with them. I already told you celibacy is key. If you're celibate, stay celibate. If you're sober, stay sober. Okay? This person is going to bring you great serenity. Great serenity. True. Everything's true. They're not going to lie to you. All that's over with. They're going to bring you serenity. Good vibes is how you'll know. You'll know by your intuition. Good vibes is underneath intuition. All right? You'll know by your intuition. Now we're doing an 11 card spread. So underneath intuition was good vibes. Underneath times is protection. Okay, the reason protection is under time is because right now you're being divinely guided and divinely protected. I bet you could tell me all kinds of stories of how you should be dead by now. Okay, that's because we're divinely protected. We have to be. We would never be able to finish this. Yesterday I watched Wolverine Apocalypse. And if you watch that movie, you'll see what I mean by mutants. Their powers were dumbed down. And then when they found out what their power really could be, they had to go through a test of whether they wanted to use it for good or evil. And that's kind of where we're at now. If you've been going through some tests to see if you're going to use your powers for good or evil, are you going to become greedy? Are you going to break your celibacy? Are you going to break your sobriety? I've been through all these tests in the last 4 years. I'll just say 4 years, okay? Because that's absolutely when this advancing of our DNA has been going on. And again, I don't like time, so don't quote me on exact time. But every single year, every single month, every single day, they're getting stronger and stronger. Now in the movie, they kind of got it automatic, but our bodies can't really handle that. So if you watch the movie Wolverine Apocalypse, it'll tell you a lot about power. And that's exactly what's going on right now. I always watch the movies, whether I've seen them before or not. I get assignments, and that was one of them yesterday. And it's for a reason, because it's going on right now. Okay, so underneath true love, we have focus. So once again, I told you this already. I said that's where our focus should be, is on true love. Okay, bringing in the ancient one. Okay, so if you're really told to move and you have the money to do it, you should move, because that soulmate or that true love is probably there. If you can't do anything but change your insides and get your power activated, then stay right where you are. I don't care if you are in jail. It doesn't matter, okay? What I'm trying to get at is the universe is all powerful. It can do anything, okay? So trust. All right, underneath the golden ticket opportunity is a fun time. And that's just what I said. I said, how will you know? You will know because it will be fun. It will be exciting. It'll be everything that you like to do. Not going to work and punching this card 9 to 5 and saying, oh, I got to get up and go to work. You will be doing it 5D and higher. Then when you're in physical, it'll just transpire that you're doing it here. That's kind of how I was in AA for over 25 years, and I taught it. And that's how it was. It was like I was teaching in astro, and then I'd wake up in my physical avatar, and I would go to church, I'd be a waitress, I'd be a real estate broker, I'd be all these things, but I taught AA, and that was like my link between the two, because I was a master teacher in astro, still am, and I do it here. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing my YouTube channel for the teaching part, or the talking about the energy part, right? And I'm not doing the AA part. but I'm doing 5D and higher, all kinds of question and answer classes, all kinds of classes. So you want to make sure to sign up in Astro for everything that I'm doing, okay? Now, we've got fun time, right? Fun time. That's how you'll know. And then serenity, I told you you'd know because you'd be serene, and that's the key. The key is the serenity. Are you peaceful at doing this? Are you happy doing this? Does it bring you serenity? Then you know you're on the right track. Okay, so that was the 11 card reading, and success is the next card out. Okay, so that was the 11 card reading from that deck, and that was absolutely beautiful, wasn't it? Now we're going to go ahead with the sun from the Light Seer, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle this deck up, and we're going to see what we got here. And this is what we're working on in Astro, and I bring it into this realm when I wake up, and I say, okay, after I get done feeding the animals, let's go ahead and talk to everybody that wants to listen to Miss Mystic about what we're doing in Astro, and then I'll bring it into this realm. Now, the picture on the thumbnail is a dozen of roses that the universe gave me yesterday. It was outside of my truck getting rained on, and somebody had left a dozen of roses, but I took it as a sign from my twin, my ancient one. I took it as a sign from the universe, and I took it as a sign that they gave me that dozen of roses. Another person that's not on our level would have left it as trash, or they may have picked it up and threw it in the garbage. But either way, they wouldn't have thought probably like I did. I took it as a divine dozen of roses, red roses from my divine. Okay, so thank you for the flowers. Okay, thank you very much for the flowers. And there was flowers everywhere in my house yesterday because I do let my cat in on it. There's Willie. Hi, Willie. And now they're back in a vase. Yep. Should we go show them quick? They don't want to look at your butt? Okay. We have some on the floor here, some stuff, but here they are now. They're back in their vase. Yep. It's pretty wild when the universe gives you a dozen roses. Okay, and we'll go back in here. Willie wanted to say hi. Say hi, Willie. Okay, we're going to do another 11 card spread. And we shuffle these up, and on the bottom we have the Hierophant. There you go, the most favorable card I can pull from the deck, and then the most highest ranking guy from the deck. And he's a laughing Hierophant. He's happy. He's found his twin. He can play his guitar. He can have fun instead of making life work. Okay, we got the turkey cup. I don't eat meat no more, so there won't be any turkey, but we'll have something. I can't even think of eating animals anymore. Okay, so we've got, some of you are still stuck. See, you're not at the Hierophant range yet. And that's why a lot of us don't have our twins yet. We only have them 5D and higher, because some of us are still stuck. What are we stuck in? Matrix thinking, just like them flowers. What would you have done if you found a dozen of roses next to your truck when you got out of the car at the store, all rained on, and they were even facing down in plastic, so you actually had to bend over and be a good Samaritan and want to pick up the garbage? So, it's not like they were just laying there all pretty. And then when I saw them, I had to make that decision. Are you garbage or are you a gift from the universe? So you can tell if you're stuck or not. You know these things. Okay, we're going to go ahead and that goes underneath the Hierophant, right? Basically. Then we have the Eight of Cups. You have to walk away from the past. And it's not only walking away from the past, it's the past thinking, It's the matrix thinking is that what you have to get rid of. Just like me talking to you on here, if somebody from the matrix was listening to me at any of my videos, they would probably think I'm a little loco, right? Well, that's what I don't know much Spanish, so when I talk with somebody that's Spanish, I'll tell them, I'm local, and so they know ahead of time. Okay, so Eight of Cups, we're walking away from the past, and underneath the Eight of Cups, we're going to go with, what are we walking away from? The Ten of Swords, okay? We're walking away from all that shit that hurt us, right? All the stuff that hurt us. What all hurt us? Well, lots of stuff. And if we keep playing them tapes in our head, then we're going to keep repeating, and we're not going to get out of the Eight of Cups, and we're going to stay in that Eight of Swords, that stuck mode, okay? So once again, we're going back to, look what card I got. Isn't that wild? He's got the red roses in his hand. Now, that's really wild because not many decks show a guy holding a dozen red roses. And that's exactly what was given to me yesterday. And this is the Knight of Cups. He put it into action. He couldn't be here physically to hand me them, so he made sure I got them. And that's exactly how I felt. And then again, we have under him, we have the Six of Swords, and that's movement. See, that's journeying. Even though he couldn't stand here like Willie is and hand them to me, he could get them to me. Now, the other thing I do with roses is after they totally dry out, I crush them all up and put them in oil. And it's a good, I call it homemade rose oil. You can use baby oil, coconut oil, whatever oil you would put on your skin. And then I talk over it, I pray over it, I bless it. And it's really good for massages. So if my twin was here, I could rub it on his back per se, right? Put it on your aches and pains, okay? We don't want to get too sexual because, no, we don't want to lose our celibacy, right? That's going to be kind of hard, isn't it? But you know what? Kind of hard, get it? Ugh, we're going way off the wrong edge here. But we have to do this. We have to stay celibate and we have to stay sober. How many times have you went to a party and said, oh, that beer looks really good, but you didn't drink it because you weren't going to break your sobriety? Okay, so you get it. We have to stay in the hermit mode, and that's the next card. We have to stay true, but we can do this. I know we can do this, y'all. Okay, we've got red, green, and yellow lights, right? We've got the Three of Pentacles. We can do this. We've just got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. Seven of Pentacles, victory. Whatever you planted, you're going to start reaping that harvest. I told you it's coming in from 5D and higher down to, this is what I call 4D for me. Some of you are still in 3D. Okay, then we got the Magician. So just like I was just talking, you really have to stay in the Magician mind. The Magician mindset is underneath the Seven of Pentacles. In order for that flower or tree to grow, you'd have to water it, right? Probably. Okay, well, the magician, in order to make magic, you have to believe and you have to manifest. And then like when those flowers come in, right? you have to say, wow, that was really cool. And you have to say, thank you. Thank you. Okay? Now, what we want to stay away from, it's the Sun card is the happiest card of the deck, but the card above it was the Four of Cups. So what we want to stay away from is getting in that mindset of being bored, or you're missing out, or it ain't here yet, or Miss Mystic's full of shit, or, I could go on and on and on. So we want to stay away from that, and we want to stay away from the Four of Pentacles, which is that hoarding, miserly energy of, I want and I'm going to get, and I'm not helping anyone because I've been fucked over so many times before, and I. Stay away from that attitude is what I'm hearing, because even though it's been really, really slow, the outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. You are going to get everything that you put in that soul contract. We just got to play it out. It's like the movie. I couldn't watch the end of that movie yesterday and see what happened until the end. I went through it, and boy, did they have to go through some shit, right? Well, I think we've mostly went through our shit. Not saying that we don't have shit to go through, but we've really went through it. Before I end, one of the greatest things in that movie that they wanted me to tell you about is when, I don't know if it was Magneto or who it was, but he put his hands on the guy that gives the power. I think his name was Ra. I'm not positive on names, okay? But anyway, he put his hands on the guy's head and he said, you want to see what I've been through? And he went through all of his past lives. And that's how I'm at. I'm at this state where, I have to choose now. You see all of what I went through. Maybe you don't, but the universe, me, my soul contract, right? We see all the stuff we've been through. Now, are we going to take our newfound power and are we going to use it to go backwards? Or are we going to use it to go forward, is one. And two, are we going to use it for good or for evil? Okay? Because I told you I could go backwards and use my power to get all the guys I can to, from the bar or whatever, go back to drinking, go back to rock star music, right? You can go all the way backwards, or you can take this newfound power, bring in the new earth, 5D and higher, and stay on that track. Okay, there's like two tracks. I'm staying on this one, no matter what. And we all should, but we all don't. Because in that movie, you're going to see how many people actually fall, how many people actually turn good at the end. It's an awesome movie to explain the energy right now. Wolverine Apocalypse. Okay? And they have me watch these movies for a reason. Matrix movie a day keeps a Marvel movie a day keeps the Matrix thinking away. And they don't want me thinking like the Matrix. So I don't sit there and watch movies like Fantasy Isle and The New Bachelor and all that's crap, These movies about killing. Sometimes I'll watch 2020 or, a CSI or something, but that's because there's something in it they want me to see, not because I'm watching it for what it is. So yeah, movies and TV can be bad for our thinking, but they also can be good. Again, it depends who's giving it to you. If the universe is giving you an assignment, you can do anything. I remember being in AA and them saying, if you're spiritually fit, you can go to a bar, you can go to a rock concert, if you're spiritually fit and there's a good reason for you going. I was taught that early in the AA program, and that was so beneficial because that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys can do anything, go anywhere, but it has to be for a good intent, and it can't bring you backwards. It's got to be building you up and learning you a lesson. Okay? So I can go to a bar if I'm supposed to be there, if there's a reason for it, if that's where I need to be from the universe. But me sitting there drinking, picking up guys, that is not the right thing to be doing. But it's both the same thing, right? Going to a bar. So I think you get my gist there. I appreciate you guys listening. That's the energy right now. I want to thank you for listening. I am Miss Mystic.